Evening, Patriots. Me again, Shannon Fox here, the Voted Patriots 2 channel. And I've got several little clips I want to bring you all a little bit of information that I found today. A lot of it over here on the Gateway Pundit. Just some good stuff going on and some more incoming news. But first off, we're going to get to a story that we don't have the results for yet. They're teasing us. What's her name? Caroline Levitt, our White House press spokesman, uh, said something today that made me kind of curious as to what's coming next. And it doesn't sound like it's going to be a good thing. Probably some more stuff exposed by Doge is what I'm under the impression of. Let's go ahead and read a little bit about it so you'll know what the heck I'm talking about, folks. It says incoming Doge team makes a huge discovery to be revealed soon. Says White House Press Secretary Caroline Levitt on Tuesday revealed Elon Musk's Doge team made a huge discovery that has been there has been a discovery. I hate to leave you hanging on a cliff, but I don't want to get you ahead of the. I don't want to get ahead of the president. She says. All right, we're gonna play what she says here.
And then the president on Thursday told us that there was an incredible discovery that the Doge team had made. He called it horrible and incredible. Can you reveal that yet? Give us details on what it was about?
There has been a discovery. I hate to leave you hanging on a cliff, but I don't want to get ahead of the president on that. But I can confirm there has been a discovery. It's just not quite yet ready for release.
Curious. Well, did the Doge team find out that the NGOs and the Democrat Party facilitated the theft of our 2020 election? Is that what they found out? Because we all know this is true. Did they find the paper trail? There's so many different possibilities of what they found. Maybe just another agency that is a huge boondoggle for the Democrats. It's very possible. There may be no telling how many of these USIPs, USAIDs, these shadow organizations there are. Hopefully, we'll get some discovery. Maybe we'll get some discovery about financial records of people like Pelosi and Schiff and Schumer and McConnell. Since last week, President Trump told reporters aboard Air Force One that Doge found something horrible, but he did not elaborate. We have found hundreds. We have found hundreds. Think of it, just hundreds of millions of dollars of fraud, waste, and abuse, and they're still going strong. They found something today that is horrible. It's horrible. Trump says. Well, what is it? Says reporter. So what we found, you'll find out very soon. Trump says. Wow, what they've found is incredible, and I give Elon a lot of credit, and he has some very smart people with him. Trump emphasized, I want Elon to stay as long as possible. And I agree to those terms. I agree. So they're going to keep us in suspense on this one, folks. Now, anybody got any ideas in the comment section what Doge discovered? Um, maybe another, maybe that everybody in Congress is taking money from one particular entity, because that's easy to prove. Who knows? Could be anything. Hopefully, it's something that's going to be prosecutory worthy. Now we'll get into a couple people getting fired today, which I think is a good thing for some people. I don't usually appreciate when people get fired, but there are those that don't need the job, especially some particular jobs like this one here. We have a woke DEI obsessed Navy Vice Admiral who allegedly refused to put up Trump's portrait at the NATO headquarters, has been fired. Trump had her on as the Vice Admiral liaison for NATO for the United States. Well, he did not like her. She was obviously not minded, and she got fired today. I'm so glad to hear that. I'm gonna hopefully we'll just pull out of NATO. I don't think we have any use for NATO at this point. Just my opinion. They don't do much for us. And we've seen what they did in Ukraine war. Not much. It's almost a useless organization that you have to pay a membership to. Now, this here is quite funny because this is a CNN analyst. It's lately been showing us all the numbers about Trump his ratings going up, his favorability. You know, they do this on CNN all the time. They did it with Biden, and now they're doing it with Trump. It's just one of their daily routines. And this guy for weeks and weeks has been not been able to say anything bad about Trump because his numbers are steadily going up, and he's comparing usually 1, 2, 3 years or this term versus that term. And there's nothing that Trump is doing uh, that is making Trump is surging in all the polls. Even these little minuscule, uh, nonsensical polls that they come up with, Trump is definitely doing better than he's ever done before as far as people approval, as far as I guess uh, being able to make things become calm on the world stage. I'm not talking about the tariffs. I'm talking about wars and things, trying to broker peace with the entire world. Things like that actually matter. So Trump has put out a record number of executive orders. His 86% says his approach is completely different from others, and this isn't seen as a power grab. 53% say his power is too little or right, and that's me. I think they're trying to steal Trump's power away from him with these crooked judges, and it's just not right. Let him do his job as president. All right, let's get into this video here, and I'm sure this guy hates to report this stuff being a hardcore lefty. That's why it's funny to me.
I think there was this concern among some folks that Donald Trump would come in for a second term and kind of be a lame duck. He ain't no lame duck. If anything, he's a soaring eagle. What am I talking about here? Let's talk about Trump executive orders in 2025. He's already signed 111 so far. That is the most at this point in a presidency in at least 100 years. In fact, it's the most in any single year, and we're only in April, since Harry S. Truman in the early 1950s. The bottom line is, whether you like Trump or you don't like him, you can't say that he's come in and not try to deliver on what he at least believes was his promises on the campaign trail, and he's doing so in historic fashion.
How are people reacting to and feel about Trump's approach?
Yeah, okay, so Trump's approach here, what are we talking about? Trump's approach to presidential power. I think the American people recognize what he's doing here is completely different. We're talking, get this, 86% of the American public believes that Trump's approach to presidential power is completely different from past presidents, compared to only 14% who believe it is in line with precedent. And we're talking about at least 79% of Democrats, independents, and Republicans. So again, you can agree or you can disagree with Donald Trump, but what you can't disagree with is that he's doing things very differently. I have used the Frank Sinatra quote before. He is doing it, quote unquote, my way, and that is what Donald Trump has done throughout both of his presidential terms, and he's certainly doing that, Kate Baldwin, in term number 2.
So completely differently, clearly they agree, but is it?
Here's what it is. Trump is like any other politician for a lot of reasons, because he's a businessman first, and he loves his country. That actually helps. But Trump knows how to market everything that we have as a commodity in this country, from our natural gas, our oil, our power on the world stage. Trump is the best man for the job for a lot of reasons. But I think that Trump is the most unpredictable president we've ever had, because he does it his way. He does what he says, and he says what he does. And we've never had a president like that. We've had a couple of decent presidents along the way, some really good ones in the beginning, but in the last 100 years, there's not a whole lot of great ones. Just my opinion. But Trump, if he's done nothing else to appeal, even if he has appealed to X amount of the population, he's always going to have those haters. But even the haters recognize that we'll probably never have another president like Trump. Just somebody that is, I'm going to do it my way because I said I was going to do it, and my word is good. That's why I portray confidence. He portrays confidence, and it works for him. And it's called strength through power, strength through peace, or peace through strength. There it is. Took me a minute. And Trump lets that be known. in every way, in every negotiation. He is going to win, or everybody's going to win, and that's the way it's going to be. And and that's a great thing because he is fighting not for his money, not for his business, but for our country, and that's why I appreciate him so much. That's why I bring you a little bit of CNN sometimes because these folks at this point are eating a little crow, and they deserve it after lying on Trump for the last 8 years.
Take it a step further. Do the people think he has too much? He's taken too much power.
Yeah, this I think is the real question, right? You can believe that he's doing stuff completely differently, but do you think that he has a little too much power or not? And this is interesting. So Trump's presidential power is too much, the right amount, too little. Well, 47% say too much, but then you get 36% who say the right amount. Then you get 17% who say too little. So you're essentially dealing with a majority of the American public, 53%, who do not
53.
say that Trump has too much power. They either says he has too little power or the right amount of power. So the idea, that argument that Donald Trump is quote unquote a king, that I don't think holds with the American people. It does hold maybe with 47%, but with the majority of folks, they believe Donald Trump's doing something completely differently, and they don't believe he has too much power, and the executive orders he signed certainly suggest he's no lame duck. He is, as I said at the beginning, a soaring eagle.
Well, I bet he hated to have to say that. Or maybe he's changing his tune. I don't know. I guess CNN is letting not just Scott Jennings over there argue with the lefties. They got one of their left wing pundits over there showing the real numbers, and they may be fudged numbers, but at any rate, they're still beneficial to the cause of even letting the left wing lunatics that listen to the CNN crap that Trump is a one of a kind, and you should just sit back and hold on to your seat because he's going to get it done, whether you like it or not. And that's the best part about it. Him and Elon and the entire conservative executive branch team that is working towards saving our country is like no other team ever assembled. Maybe besides the ones that wrote the Constitution, signed the Declaration of Independence. Maybe those guys, but other than that, I think we've got the best team available, and it's starting to show. Now, I am ready for some prosecutions like the rest of you. Says a new senior CIA official who played a role in Biden's military COVID vaccine mandate was fired. And I'm just so glad to hear that. You know, a lot of people got kicked out of the military because they refused to take the jab. And so Trump is going to reinstate them if they want to get back into the military with full back pay and some kind of compensation. So the senior CIA official who helped facilitate the Biden era COVID vaccine mandate has been fired. In 2021, then Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin imposed a vaccine mandate for U.S. troops. Joe Biden supported Lloyd Austin's military COVID vaccine mandate. The president agrees that Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin that the Pentagon should continue to require all service members to be vaccinated and boosted against COVID. Then National Security Council spokesman John Kirby told reporters in 2022. According to Breitbart News, Terry Admiram, a senior CIA official at the former Defense Department official under Joe Biden, was fired last week. There he is. His name is Terry Admiram. Says Admiram was fired for his role in mandating military members to either take jab or be forced out. But he was told by Lloyd Austin to do it as when he carried out the marching orders. What's going down here? It's a scoop from Christina Wong, Terry Admiram, a senior CIA official and former senior defense official who played a pivotal role and potentially illegal role in Biden administration's military vaccine mandate, was recently fired from the agency. Direct source, Breitbart News. It's good to know. Firing some more of them. You find these cretins, get rid of them, Trump. Get rid of them. Some of them need to go to jail, but I definitely say get rid of them. Now, there is a massive trade war going on right now, and some people are panicking behind their 401k or their stocks or their S&P. their money they have invested. And I would say just hold on. Uh, it's it's going to be unstable until it's not. And in the meantime, 70 countries have already called Trump and want to negotiate. So we're halfway there. We're actually more than halfway there on fixing the problem because we're going to make countries now pay their fair share. And Trump and China are probably going to Trump and China and probably maybe less than a half a dozen countries will actually butt heads. Is my excuse me is my prediction. And China is definitely going to butt heads. But they bowed down to Trump in 2016 when he taxed the hell out of them. I remember distinctly, and he's going to do it again. And they don't like it for two reasons: one, because of the financial situation, and two, they're looking like fools over there in Beijing. And since they're still not listening to Trump, he put like a 1201 deadline on dropping our taxes on our tariffs on selling merchandise to them, and he's got a no out of the deal. Well, now it is a full blown tariff war between China and us. May end in a minute. It may take a week. It may take a month, but it's not going to destroy this country. China has too much to lose, considering half of the merchandise in our WalMarts and stores and dollar stores is made in China. Says Trump slaps 104% tariff on communist China after Beijing defies U.S. warning. Ouch. How much more can they take? I don't know. They will figure it out pretty quick. You watch, they'll be coming to the table. Trump may go 200%, 300%. I mean, you never know. It says breaking, this is some good news. Breaking Supreme Court temporarily grants Trump ability to fire thousands of federal employees. Now, do you remember when the Doge team come in and found out that there was thousands of employees that didn't want to show up to work because they were either staying at home, working from home on their computers, or remote, what you call remote, I guess, or they hadn't been in the office, but only come in the office once a week, or they got a job but they don't actually have to show up to it. A lot of that going on in the government, or maybe somebody's getting a paycheck but actually doesn't really have the job. Maybe somebody just give them the paycheck, one of those politician kind of handout things. Some A lot of screwy stuff going on with that, and those got to looking into it in in a a couple of our agencies, as a matter of fact. And when he started getting to the IRS and stuff, he started seeing these um, anomalies that pointed him in the direction to see waste, fraud, and abuse. And now here we are, Supreme Court deciding that all these people that Elon Musk and Trump decided, if you don't come to work within X amount of time, you're fired. If you don't respond to an email within X amount of time, you're fired. Uh, because you've been here less than 2 years, Trump can unilaterally decide your temporary help and get rid of you. And that's mostly what this pertains to. And so they've been in the process of getting rid of all these people, getting them out, just to save the money. And if they're useless employees, we don't need them anyway. I don't want to pay for somebody to sit at a desk and play video games or whatever they're doing, or sit at home and get paid uh, while they have another job. No, I don't want to pay for that. I'm sure y'all don't either. So as is, it looks like I think it was 7-2. Let's see here. It says the U.S. Supreme Court has temporarily blocked the lower court's ruling that sought to undermine one of the former president's most critical reform initiatives, the power to remove entrenched federal bureaucrats who obstructive executive authority and resist change. Yeah, Biden slid that in there. Because according to Bloomberg, the High Court's decision, which came over the objections of two dissenting justices, blocked the lower judge's order that would have forced the reinstatement of the Employees Act from 6 government departments. Let me read that again. It says, according to Bloomberg, the High Court decision, which came over the objections of the two dissenting justices, Okay, so it was 7-2 for the win. Let me guess, Sotomayor and oh, it had to be one of the other two crazies over there. Katanji Brown. I get it now. Okay, the decision came in OPM ETF. Yeah, I don't know what the heck all that is. Oh, that's the case where the court granted a stay of March 13th, 2025 injunction issued by California District Court said he sided with the coalition of left-wing nonprofit organizations attempting to shield federal workers from accountability. Yeah, they were trying to stop Doge and Trump from firing people who were totally useless and just wanted to draw a paycheck. So we ain't doing that. So as of now, these people, I guess, still don't have a job. Says President Trump wasted no time slamming the decision by a radical Clinton judge, calling it absolute ridiculous and warning that it poses a very dangerous precedent for the county. Speaking aboard Air Force One, President was asked whether he planned to comply with the ruling. His response was direct as ever. Hold on. Let me see what I. Last month, the U.S. District. Okay, I missed something here. It said last month, U.S. District Judge uh, Alsap, a Clinton appointee, ordered Trump's administration to rehire thousands of fired probationary employees in 6 federal agencies. That's okay. Now I'm making sense. The judge blasted the Trump administration, said he felt misled by the U.S. government as he ordered 6 agencies to offer reinstatement to fired probationary workers. That was the previous ruling. It is a sad day when the government could fire some good employees and say it was based on performance when you know good and well that's a lie, Judge Alsop said. That should not have even been done in our country, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that was the first ruling, and now the Supreme Court has ruled in, and so here we go. We're back in business. Them folks are out. All right, let's go to the next one. Supreme Court temporarily grants Trump his ability to fire him. Get him out of there. I think the people that couldn't write emails, things of that nature, to prove they were a warm body in a chair, definitely need to be gone, and I'm sure that is being contested as well. Now, folks, this here is a really I don't want to give too much of an opinion about this, but it says so. The Russia collusion didn't work. The impeachment 1 didn't work. Impeachment 2 didn't work. And now Adam Schiff has brought together both chambers of Congress to overthrow the United States government with their shadow government. his his arrest will take place as soon as the declassification of Crossfire Hurricane is fully released. I'm hoping that's the way that goes down because he is guilty of a lot. Let's listen to Adam Schiff. I know he's not your favorite person. He's not mine either, but we're going to listen to him just because this is pretty creepy.
Extraordinary step of convening this unprecedented hearing. We brought together both chambers of Congress, the Senate and the House, to conduct real oversight and to serve as a check and balance, to hold those who misuse power to account and to carry out our constitutional duty. Convening this hearing was not our first choice. We have tried to get our Republican colleagues to hold hearings, to do meaningful oversight, to assert Congress's authority as an independent branch of government. But to our great disappointment, our Republican colleagues have abdicated that important responsibility. They have stood by as the President has run roughshod over the legislative branch and turned Congress into little more than a rubber stamp. So today we'll hold the first of what we hope will be more bicameral oversight hearings. We will do the investigative work that our colleagues across the aisle refuse to do. We will expose the illegality, abuse, and corruption of this administration and within the Department of Justice. We will have brave witnesses speak to what's actually happening behind closed doors, how the Trump administration continues to try to intimidate them from speaking out, and why it matters to Americans across the country. The Trump administration is following a well-worn playbook. History serves as a guide and
You see what they're doing here? Adam Schiff knows he's going to jail. He knows he's going to have legal problems. He knows he's going to be exposed to the world for his money bribes he's been taking, probably for what he did to the little black boy many years ago in a hotel. And if you don't know about that, Google it. or you can ask me about it in the comment section. I'll tell you about it. It's pretty sickening, and I can tell you where you can find some information on it. And so many other things, like the whole Crossfire hurricane lying on TV for 7 to 8 years, creating Trump could get him for defamation, I would think. Defamation of character because he lied on Trump 1,000 times. He went on CNN every weekend and told the Russia collusion story and did the whole Crossfire hurricane spying on everybody. He's the biggest part of the problem as anybody, being hooked in with the intel agencies and being uh, one of the leading members in the Senate. Just sicko Adam Schiff. I can't stand that guy. Oh my gosh, I can't stand him. We'll listen to no more of him. He rattles my cage. Now, speaking about Doge, I thought this would be a cool shirt. I may try to find me one of these or get somebody to make one of these for me. It says, "In God we trust, all others, the Doge audits." That's what I'm talking about. Yep, I think these audits are absolutely necessary. It is going to help fix our country, fix our economy, fix our deficit in the long run. If we're not spending more than we're bringing in theory, we can start knocking on the principle. But we'll see. Things got all quagmired up with 100 and something cases and 15 injunctions. But we are starting to finally get a little bit of resolution. The Supreme Court is now being forced into it. Oh, we heard this clip already. We'll go ahead and listen to it again. No, better than that. We'll just, if you haven't already, let me know in the comments section below. What do you predict will be the Doge discovery that is horrible, that's big news, that's probably going to expose something that we know nothing about, or maybe it's something we know a little bit about, but now we got all the pieces and they're going to lay it out. It's going to be a big disclosure, is what I'm under the impression of, and we'll see. I can't wait. Like, subscribe, and share, Road to Patriots. Maybe we'll find out tomorrow, maybe the next day, but it's coming soon. More discovery, more exposure, eventually indictments due to these investigations, and then arrests. I'm looking forward to it, folks. Be patient. It's coming. They're not all faking and shaking. Too many Republicans want their pound of flesh, and I'm with them.